Hey everybody, welcome back to Tips and Minutes with Training on Wheels. I'm Vinzana. We have a question today from Excel. So our question is, how can I create a home page that will link this sheet to other worksheets in my workbook? So I'm excited to answer that question, so let's go. All right, guys, so here we go. We are going to design a home page which will give our users access to other sheets within our workbook. We're going to utilize shapes to accomplish the task, and we will then have those shapes hyperlinked to other worksheets. We're also going to clean up the home page a little bit so that it won't look like every other sheet in our workbook. So let's begin. We're going to start by inserting shapes. We reviewed this concept in the last video, so this shouldn't be new information to you, but just in case you need a refresher, we're going to go to the Insert tab on our ribbon. Usually it's over to the left-hand side. You should have an illustrations group, all right? And you should see these shapes drop down. We're going to pick just a very simple rectangle shape here. Of course, you can pick any shape that you would like. Once you select a shape, it should turn into a cross. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my shape. All right, that looks like a good size. You will notice that my shape is the same color as this shape over here. I've created what's called a default shape. I will create a video on that, and any shape that I create from this point forward will look like this, and it'll also have the same color. So that helps to save some time. All right, now in Office, you no longer have to right-click when you are trying to insert text into a shape. All you have to do is begin typing. So we want to link this first shape to the worksheet down below called West Region. So I'm going to type West Region. Okay. It's a fairly large shape that I created, so what I'm going to do is adjust my font size just so that it looks a little bit proportioned to the size of the shape that I drew. So I'm going to highlight my text. All right. You can go to the Home tab. There are multiple ways to do this, but we're just going to go to the Home tab. Over to the left here in the font group, and I'll choose a size. I like to eyeball it. About 36 looks good to me, so we're going to go with that. I like to click off of my shape just to make sure that everything looks good, and it looks good to me. So now that we have created a shape which is going to serve as a button, we can then use the hyperlink method to get our users to click this shape and access the West Region sheet. There are three ways to insert a hyperlink. If you go to the Insert tab, over to the right in the Links group, you will see that you have a hyperlink button. All right, it's now called Link. It looks like a little world with a chain. The other option that you have is you have the ability to use a keyboard shortcut, and that is Control K. Control K as in kangaroo. All right, and lastly, we have the right-click method. I'm going to use the right-click method on today. So I'm going to right-click my shape. We have what's called a shortcut or context menu pop up, and then you should see in the middle that we have the link option. If you're using an older version of Excel, it still may say hyperlink, but you're looking for this icon. All right, the icon didn't change, but they changed it to link. All right, once you click it, you'll have your Insert Hyperlink Dialog Box. I'm going to move it over there in the middle so that we can still see our shape and we can see this dialog box. Over to the left, you get to decide where you are linking it to. So if you are linking it to another workbook, if you are linking it somewhere inside of this workbook, if you wanted to create a new document, and you can even email. Did you guys know that? You can email through Excel. But we want to link it somewhere inside of this workbook. So we're going to choose Place in this document. It will show you all of the worksheets that are listed in this workbook. We want to choose West Region. Okay, that's where we're linking this to. And we're going to add one more element here. Anytime that you create a link or a hyperlink, there is a screen tip that Microsoft generates. They do not use the best of words with their screen tip, and it can be a little bit confusing to users who have never played or utilized a hyperlink before. So we're going to customize this. At the top right-hand side, you should see screen tip. All right, and this is just the message that you want people to see when they hover over your shape. So I'm going to type click here to access West region, and I'll add data. Okay, just a little note for our users. Once we're done typing, we're going to select OK. All right, make sure that West region is still selected. I'm just going to verify that, and then select OK again. There we go. Now, let's see if it works. So you're going to click off of your shape. All right. And then now when you put your mouse on top of your shape, it should turn into a little finger, and there should be your screen tip. So they will know what they're doing when they click, okay? Now when we click on this shape here, it carries us to the West region sheet. West region sheet. All right, we're going to do that one more time just so that we can have a shape on this sheet that carries us back to the home page. So this will be somewhat of a review. I'm going to go to the Insert tab, Shapes. This time I'm going to choose somewhat of an arrow that tells me that I'm going back. All right, over to the right here, I am going to draw my arrow. All right, I'm going to type my text, which is back to home page. All right, got my text. You see that all my defaults are in place. I am then going to right click on Set Shape, select Link. All right, I still want it to be inside of this particular workbook, so I'm going to select Place in Document. All right, and select Home Page, because that's where I want it to link this time. All right, screen tip. Help our users out here, back to home page. Okay, okay again, click off. All right, put our mouse on top of our shape. We should see our little finger, our screen tip. So we are doing something that looks all right. Click it, and there we go. All right, so we are going to show you how you can now make this environment clutter-free. All right, so now that we have completed the steps a couple of times and make sure that we have our shapes that link to other worksheets in our workbook, we are going to finally remove the clutter behind the scenes. Because this is our home page, we wanted to have a different appearance from all of the other worksheets in our workbook. And to do this, we can remove the grid lines. To do that, we'll go to the View tab on our ribbon. Over to the left in the show group, you should see grid lines. We're simply going to uncheck that. All right, that gives us a clean look. And now we'll be able to go to any one of our worksheets from this particular spot. So let's just do one more practice. There we go. We're on the East region. We want to go back to the home page. There we go. All right, so let's recap, guys. We created a home page utilizing shapes and hyperlinks. The steps are as follows. We inserted a shape. We created a link. We showed you the 3 methods that you can utilize in Excel and actually in all of Office to create hyperlinks, or links as they are now called in the newer version. We showed you what the appropriate choices are in the Hyperlink Dialog Box. And then finally, to create a clean space for our home page, we removed the grid lines by going to the View tab. Thanks again, guys, for joining Training on Wheels with Tips and Minutes. Remember, you can ask your question for a chance for it to be featured on our page. So shoot us a message below or send us a private message or an email. Thanks again for joining, guys. See you next time.